stars and lava lamp lights. Nostalgia mania, let your memories fly. Toys R Us tears in a surge soda high. From hair gel spikes to butterfly clips, we're bringing it back. No skips, just hits. Nostalgia mania, come take the trip.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode of Nostalgia Mania, episode 45 to be exact. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Nostalgia Mania, we take you back to the legendary movies, wrestling shows of the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. I am your host, the real Josh Elliott. With me, as always, the one and only Brian J. Baby! What's up, man? How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Not a whole lot going on, but doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. My soreness is finally starting to go away over
Yeah.
from Friday night, Fountain City Pro.
Yes,
So
yes.
moving. I really look forward to show days. I really do. But I also dread them. Moving
Yeah.
moving 2 to 3 tons of steel 4 times in one day is rather daunting.
I totally understand. Yes.
So tonight, guys, appreciate everybody for tuning in. We are covering the movie you see below if you're watching live. Michael J. Fox, second best movie of 1985, and that's Teen Wolf. Michael J. Fox was all over the place in 85.
Wasn't he in a third movie as well?
If he was, I did not catch that one. I did not catch that. He may have made it, and it may have been released in early 86.
Let me look it up here.
Yeah, Brian J is going to go to the Google machine, but we are covering Teen Wolf, the teenage movie, the second movie that Michael J. Fox released in 1985, along with Back to the Future, and possibly a third that Brian J is getting ready to.
Actually, he Teen Wolf came out first.
All right, good to know.
So it was Teen Wolf, Back to the Future, and Poison Ivy,
All in 85?
all in 85.
That is insane.
Yes.
That's
It's
insane.
a working actor.
Yes, he was, and he was a damn good one too. Damn good one, man. Anyway, like I said, we're covering Teen Wolf, guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you're watching, comment live on our stream. We'll interact with us. And also, if you're listening to us on the podcast platform, we greatly appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode of Nostalgia Mania. We are live each and every Tuesday night right here on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts the day after, but we're also live here on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. We occasionally get some Twitch viewers here and there. But, man, today's Tuesday. We talked about it last week. I can't believe school's already back in session.
It's crazy that happened so quick.
Yeah. Today was the first day for my kids. So they first day of second grade for the twins. So
honestly, as a parent, I did not like back to school. I enjoyed summers with my kids, but you know, they gotta go. So
yeah, that they do. And we have a lot of fun over the summer. We went to multiple lake trips and we traveled down to not too terribly far, but we went out of state a couple times but yeah, back to the real world, I guess now, and Monday through Friday. So
yeah.
If you guys we've already went through over the YouTube and the Facebook. We also have an Instagram. We have TikTok, X, and Twitch at JSC Studios 816 or the real Josh Elliott. Brian J, where can everybody follow you on social media?
You can follow me on BrianJ_Bebe at Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. All should be the same as right here.
I like it. Brian J_Bebe.
Just don't get offended.
Yeah, don't get offended. If you guys are going to watch to the end of this show, remember we are going to be covering the Retro REcast. We're going to do this each and every week with the movies that we cover. This week we have picked the three main characters of Teen Wolf. We're going to recast Michael J. Fox character Scott. We're going to recast Boof, and we're going to recast Stilinski. That's all coming at the end of the show. So if you're watching now, get your picks in and type them into the comments. We'll chat about it a little bit later on. And yeah, so we'll see. I do have one other person's recast. My sister submitted her list, so we will cover hers as well later on in the show. So let's jump into it. We're talking Teen Wolf. Like we said, released back in 1985, was the first of three for Michael J. Fox that year. I'm excited, man. This was one of my, I wouldn't say favorite movies, but I really, really enjoyed going back and watching this, and just because it had been so long since I had watched it, and I just forgot how great of a movie this was, and watching it back, there was two different scenes, man. Apparently, van surfing is a sport.
Yes, apparently. I that is one of the, like when you mentioned it, that's one of the scenes that popped into my head was when he was van surfing. But like this is one that I didn't watch it a ton. I watched it, 3 or 4 times as a kid. It is good, but it's not up there like Back to the Future, where if it's on, you watch it.
Right. Yeah, and it and like we said, I mean, this was kind of a teen high school movie, at least setting wise.
Yeah.
And we've talked about a lot of great movies on Nostalgia Mania, man. Like this is no different as far as as far as budget and box office. We always had to start off the shows kind of talking about money and how well it did. This had a $4 million budget in '85 and grossed over 33 million at the domestic box office. So didn't have as good of an opening weekend as some of our previous ones, but did have a very successful end at 33.
It did 80 million worldwide.
Yes, worldwide 80 million. 33 was domestic.
Worldwide.
Yep.
But yeah, it did well here, but add that on top of it, and they had to have been happy.
100, yeah, dude, for a $4 million, yeah, that's insane. That's a great. And you think about, I don't know what the box office was for Back to the Future, but Michael J. Fox was rolling in the dough in that year.
Yes, yes, he was. It's ridiculous.
This actually is one of my uncle Jason, who was a former co-host of the show. It was one of his favorite movies too. He was super excited that we were doing it. He actually submitted a video to do, but I could not. He sent it via Snapchat, and I tried to do a screen record at the same time, and I thought I got it, but I didn't. And Snapchat, once you watch it, it goes bye-bye. So I missed it. I will talk about the scene that he brought up and thought was one of his favorites, but when we get to it. But yeah, this movie was number 2 in the box office for that year, and it was only behind for the year, not for that period, but for the year behind Back to the Future. So MJF, Michael J. Fox, was 1 and 2 in '85.
Yeah, that's a pretty good career, even if you cut it off right there.
Yeah. So, do you think that after rewatching it, and we'll kind of dive into some of the scenes, do you think rewatching it now it has that rewatchability to it today?
Yes, I think it does.
Yeah, I agree.
I have some numbers if you feel like getting into them.
Let's do it, man.
So for Back to the Future, budget's a little more, $19 million budget. Worldwide, it brought in $381.1 million. So yeah, it was top 10 for 24 weeks.
Wow.
So, yeah, just wait until we get into that whole franchise, and it's crazy, like the numbers for each one.
Yeah, and those movies hold up today too, and Stitch, and we just talked about Jason Stitch, the former co-host of the first 20 or so episodes, 30 or so. That's one of his favorite movies of all time.
Yeah,
the Back to the Future movie. So
it's one that really doesn't have too many flaws. There's a lot of people on YouTube or whatever that say, oh, this wouldn't happen, but it's pretty flawless as far as that goes.
Right.
But yeah. So back to the Teen Wolf. So this was MTV actually made a Teen Wolf show 10, 15 years ago, because Teen Wolf was so popular back in the day. The creators were a fan, so they're like, hey, let's make a show. But they made it more dramatic, and it's definitely not the same.
Did you watch it?
I watched. I was intrigued. I watched the first maybe season, and it wasn't but like 12 episodes. Instead of basketball, they played lacrosse. So right there, it's kind of like, what are we doing here?
Right.
But yeah, it wasn't nearly as fun. It wasn't nearly as good, honestly.
Yeah, that's typical for remakes or trying to, not unbury, but kind of go back and get that spark again from something that happened back in the 80s or 90s. Usually you don't ever hit as well as it once was.
Right.
So, but I was intrigued too, because I had seen it come out. I had seen it be released. I'd never watched any of it. So I did not know if it was good or bad. I didn't have any say, or opinion on it, but I had interest in watching for sure, just to kind of check it out and see which way they went. And now I know they went with lacrosse. I didn't even realize that.
I think it's one of those, if you go in with no expectations, it's not bad. It wasn't great, but I mean, I think they did 2 or 3 seasons maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't top Michael J. Fox.
No, you never will.
I
Never
mean,
will.
you just can't.
Nope. No. Speaking of MJF, he played Scott Howard in the original 1985 version. His dad was played by James Hampton, which
Hampton.
we'll get to him, huh?
Such an awesome actor.
Oh, he was great, man.
And he was in everything from movies to TV shows. Just played great roles.
Yep. Lisa Boof Marconi was Susan Ursity. I don't know. I said that wrong.
That. Yep.
Something like that. Stilinski was Jerry Levine. Matt Adler played Lewis. I'm trying to think here. Coach Bobby Finstock was Jay Tarsi. Man, I'm butchering these last names. And then Mark Holton obviously played Chubbs, which actually, and it took me a while to realize, because I kept watching. I was like, where did I see Chubbs or Chubby?
Yep.
And
I know exactly where you saw him.
And it was A League of Their Own.
Hold on. Are we thinking of the same guy? Let me look here.
Yeah, he played in A League of Their Own, and he was the older version of the kid that went like, nana, boo, boo, you stink.
Mm-hmm.
He was the older version of him in Little League, in A League of Their Own.
Yes, he was that kid. Yep.
So he was a very small character, but I love A League of Their Own, and whenever we get to that month, that's my pick. So just be ready for it.
Sure.
But that's where I've seen him before. Did you see him in something else?
I did. What I know him from is Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Okay, yeah.
He plays.
I had forgotten he was in that. Yeah.
He plays the main antagonist in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Man, it's been so long that I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, he's another one of those like bit actors that got so many roles and pretty good ones. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, because you always remember that from A League of Their Own. You always remember from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and I always remember him from Teen Wolf because after the first time on the basketball court when he turns into a wolf, he's looking like his eyebrows are just like dancing around his face, and I'm like, yeah, that's awesome.
Brody in the house. Appreciate him. Appreciate you for tuning in, sir.
Brody, who came in late to wrestling but didn't miss a thing.
No, he didn't, because he didn't start until he got there. Pretty much.
I think U-Haul was in cahoots, and they're like, "Hey, Brody, don't worry, we got your back."
Yeah. We'll delay everything just so you don't miss nothing.
Yep.
That's kind of how I felt when when I went to Vegas for the October show. I told Chase I'm not going to be able to help you set up. I'm going to be late because I'm flying in from Vegas that morning, and my flight landed, and I was able to get to the storage unit before they even opened it up. So I didn't miss anything that day.
I remember that. Yep.
So, do you have any? I'm going to ask you this. So, if you don't, that's all good. But do you have any of your favorite quotes from Teen Wolf? I think that's going to be a common segment on the show. We want to pick our favorite quotes from each movie.
Like quotes, I don't really know, because when I'm watching the movie, I just don't. This one, I don't know that there were any that really stuck out other than like there's a quote when he's talking to his dad when he's in the bathroom and his dad's wanting him to open the door and he doesn't, and it says something about like we all go through changes or whatever, and that was probably one of my favorites of the movie.
When I said that I would try to record Jason's video, that was exactly the scene he talked about.
Yep.
He said when he first goes full wolf in the bathroom and his dad's saying, "Open it up, son, I can help," and he's like, "No, not this time, Dad."
Not this time, yeah. There's another scene, and it's probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie, or Stiles, and he's trying to get money, like in the locker room after the game to get beer to take to this party because he thinks if he brings beer, then he's in and they're gonna love him. And so he goes to the liquor store and he's got the kid in the car next to him, and he gets out, goes inside, and he's talking to the old man. Yeah, I'm working for whatever, and just like laying it on thick, trying to bribe the guy. And he's like, I'm going to need to see your ID there, cowboy. Or something similar to that. And he just leaves and sits in the car, and he's just like, totally dead.
Speaking of the liquor store, I always bring this up every episode if I see it. Pepsi or Coke. How about neither? This movie featured RC Cola.
RC. Yep.
Yeah, when I saw that get put up onto the thing, and I was like, man, we just talked the last movie. Brian was like, it's either Pepsi or Coke, one or the other. Well, how about
It generally is.
Yeah.
But now, am I wrong in thinking this? Did Pepsi own RC at one point? I know they distributed them in Kansas City back in the late 80s, early 90s, but did they ever own RC at any point?
If we distributed it, I was not aware of it, but if we did, we never owned it. Much like Dr. Pepper, we don't own Dr. Pepper.
Right.
We just distribute it in a lot of the areas of the country. So I don't think we've ever owned RC.
Okay.
But I think RC is kind of lumped in with 7-Up, which is also Dr. Pepper and all them. So, but yeah, it was just funny to see RC how we just talked about it's either one or the other, and then it was neither this time. So
wait until we get to Back to the Future. I'm telling you.
Yep. Oh, I know.
Lots of good stuff about that movie.
So I wrote this one down as my favorite quote because I was not going to remember it word for word, but I wanted to say it correctly, so I have it written down. This was my favorite quote. It was in the locker room later in the movie when Scott was talking to Coach Finstock, and his coach was like, "What's going on, Coach? Like, what's?" He kind of gives him a life philosophy, and he's like, "There are three rules that I live by: never get less than 12 hours of sleep, never play cards with a guy who has the same first name as a city, and never get involved with a woman with a tattoo of a dagger on her body." Now, if you stick to that, everything else is cream cheese.
That's hilarious.
It was great. I cracked up when he said first the 12 hours of sleep, and then obviously the first name is a city. That was great.
And this movie does have a ton of quotes, but it's especially Stiles.
I love Stiles, man.
I just don't. When I'm watching it, I laugh so much. I just don't really write them down like I should, which I will the next movie.
No, you're good, man. I knew. Yeah, I heard that. And I was like, wait a minute. So I rewound it, and I sat there. I wrote it all. Or I didn't write it. I typed it in my phone as I was watching it. But, all right. So let's kind of jump into this, man. We'll kind of go scene by scene and just kind of talk about what happened in the movie. We kind of start off in the basketball scene where Scott's kind of trying to shoot a free throw, and you see he's not good at basketball. He misses his free throws.
But none of the team is good at basketball. If we watch,
that was you go back and look at our most recent softball team. Not Brody's. Brody actually has a T-shirt that says League Champions. I do not, but I was on a team with Chase, and their basketball team reminded me of our softball team because they lost 72-12 or something like that.
Yep. That happens sometimes,
Yeah.
So he's not good at basketball. I love their team name,
the Beavers.
The Beavers.
Yep.
Because they play like it,
Yep.
Not going anywhere. Yeah, that was good.
So we kind of meet Scott a little bit, find out kind of what the movie is a little bit, right? We meet Stilinski. Chubbs was in that scene as well. And And we get to the part where you mentioned when we get to that old man at the general store,
But
where we're trying to.
you also see before this, like him, kind of in teenage love with Pamela Wells.
Yes. Yep. And she and basically, yeah, because she that was Lori Griffin. We didn't talk about her playing Pam, but yeah, she the whole movie he's trying to get her attention, right, and try to impress her and get with her the whole time, while he has his best friend Stilinski and another, I guess, best friend Boof, who's kind of always with him the entire time.
Which
so
I mean, that whole he likes her a lot thing, it kind of reminds me of a little bit of more modern day Talladega Nights.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah,
just a little bit. I mean,
yeah, yep.
But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there.
No worries. And hey, Brody, I know you're in the chat. We talked about this just before. I want to cover, just so you are prepared. We are going to do a retro recast after we get done with this episode. So we're going to recast Scott, Boof, and Stilinski. So start thinking of who you would recast in today's version of Teen Wolf.
You are on the clock.
You're on the clock. Yeah. So we get to the keg run, basically the general store, trying to fake being old enough to buy. That does not work. Which ends up he gets Scott to go in, and that's when he's starting to already notice some things different, right? He's starting to his arms are getting hairy, his fingernails are starting to grow a little bit. Puberty.
No.
And this time his eyes kind of get red and his voice gets deep and basically tells the old man, give me a case or give me a keg or whatever it was.
Yep.
Which basically scared the crap out of the guy so much to give him the keg.
Yep.
So,
but he does finally, after he talks to his dad, are we at this point yet? Close to the point of him talking to his dad? No,
not yet. I got one more scene before that.
Gotcha.
And this is where they take the keg. They take the keg to the party. And he still has not fully churned yet, right? He's getting those, his ears on his way to the party. His ears start to kind of get pointed, and what do you think about? And we'll kind of pause at this scene for a minute. What did you think about the party games that they were doing?
It was ridiculous. Just like, I didn't party in the 80s, so I don't really know. I was a little young for that, but yeah, a little crazy. I don't necessarily think that all party games were like that, but yeah.
I don't know if that was, I don't know what the term is. I was not a big partier growing up anyway, but I have never been to a party that had, at least a house party, that had that many people inside of a house drinking and like that for sure. And they were wild games, man. Like they were crazy. And then
that's because Stiles was there organizing.
Yep, he was setting it all up.
Your favorite character, right? So, I can neither confirm nor deny that I've been to a party like that.
Brody's never seen the movie.
In the last 5.5 years, I can neither confirm nor. We'll talk after the show.
There you go. Oh, that's great. So basically, this scene you see Scott and Boof, who are best friends. You can see Boof she's interested in Scott and wants to be a little bit more. Scott really has no interest at this point. At the moment, he is more interested in Pam, right? Pamela.
Yep.
And they get into the closet. They start kissing, and they get real into it. And he starts getting excited and scratches down her back with his claws, ripping her, basically the back of her shirt. which she slaps him, runs out, and that's kind of what triggered his full turn, because by the time he got home, Brian J., you can kind of take this one over. This is where he goes into the bathroom.
The scene where he's in the bathroom and he's trying to figure out what's going on, and he's kind of changing, and he figures it out because he looks in the mirror and he's a wolf. And then his dad comes knocking on the door asking him if everything's okay, and he can help him, and he's like, "No, Dad, I don't think you can." And he ends up opening the door, and his dad's already turned. And so then they start talking. Yeah,
he's full wolf, but also he's also gray. He's got a lot of gray hair in the wolf, and that's another thing Jason pointed out. And he goes, when he first saw his dad as full wolfed out, and he saw the gray out of it, he said he just completely lost it and died laughing. Because that was my favorite part, my favorite scene by far, was that full moon at home.
I mean, that was even funny as a kid.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. So, so he's now full wolf, and his dad kind of tries to talk to him and say, you can control it. You just gotta, it's special. We're special. There's nothing to be ashamed of. He ends up going and talking to Stiles, and tries to confide in him and kind of tell him about it.
There is a line in that movie, in that part of it, that I wasn't a fan of, but you know the line.
Yeah, I do. That was another 80s.
80s.
Yeah,
It's not okay to do, but it was the 80s, and they didn't really know it was any better.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cancel or give shit to something that happened back then. It is what it is. It sucks. I'm not a fan of it, but it did happen. Anyway, regardless, finally,
it is funny, that scene when he's oh man, it's like Stiles is already thinking of how he's going to cash in on this.
He's not afraid. He's ready to, we're going to make some money off this. We're going to sell some merch.
Yeah, let's go party.
Yeah, let's start marketing this, because you're Wolfman now, basically. And so he tries his best to keep it in, right? He doesn't want to become the wolf. So, and it wasn't until the basketball game, the next basketball, where he ends up in a scuffle with one of the players, and he's trying to get the ball, and you can see it in our preview video. And that's kind of where he finally transforms fully into wolf in the middle of the game in front of everybody. And he ends up bringing the team back and winning the game.
Yep.
And now everybody loves him.
And come to find out, the wolf is good at basketball.
He is good at basketball. And he went from dork, terrible basketball player to everybody loves him, the most popular kid in town, and really good at sports. But man, this kind of changes his life, right? He's now everyone's coming up to him in the hallways. He's getting his lockers mobbed. He's signing autographs as a high schooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Stiles, to capitalize more on it, one of your favorite scenes is coming up.
Yep, he gets that. What is it? What was it called? Is it the Wolfmobile?
The Wolfmobile.
So he gets a big wolf. Yeah,
looks like an old food truck that Stiles bought, painted, and had some decals on the side that says the Wolfmobile. And
Yep. And he's getting super cocky, right? He's living it up. He's van surfing, van handstanding, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So much so that now his friends that not Stiles in particular, but like his teammates, Chubbs, and they're all starting to get upset with him, because now he's not only winning the games, he's taking the basketball from them and taking every single shot, and not letting them have any playing time, basically. So in one area he's popular, in the other area he's tanking, right? And Also, apparently Pamela is kind of into the hairy wolves.
Yeah.
Because we had finally got our attention and had that little scene in the drama locker room, or what was it, locker room or backstage somewhere?
Yeah, backstage somewhere.
Yeah. So I grabbed my controller for a second because I had one of my kids sitting there watching, and I was like, wait a minute, and we're gonna have what's gonna happen here? But it was fine. It was quick. But man, like this kind of goes back because now Scott thinks Pamela and him are together. They end up going bowling together, and it's kind of making Pamela's quote unquote boyfriend mad. But she doesn't want to leave her boyfriend. She's cool just hooking up, one night stand, and then go back to the boyfriend. What kind of
she was just kind of using him to get her boyfriend's attention.
Yep.
You know.
They got it.
Yep.
They got it. So this is where Finstock once Scott's starting to figure out kind of what's happening, and his teammates are starting to get irritated with him, and he's not as, and so is Boof. This whole, we've kind of neglected Boof. Boof is trying to get his attention and say, hey, I don't really like the wolf. I want Scott, right? And this is where Finstock, the coach, gave him that philosophy that I talked about, the 3 things. And he kind of starts slowly realizing that maybe I don't need the wolf as much.
Right. And then,
vice principal.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Scott ends up, despising the powers and all that, and just kind of like, I'm just going to be me. After that.
Yep. He because the whole time, and I had forgotten about this storyline, is the whole movie, the vice president is up Scott's ass and like watching him and keeping a close eye on him and being kind of an ass, and I'm just like, why? Like, what? It didn't make any sense to me until this scene where his dad sits him down and says, hey, this is what happened, and I scared this guy so much that he lost bodily functions. And then it turns out that person that his dad scared because he couldn't control it was the vice principal. So now the vice principal is watching Scott. So that kind of played that story out as well at the dance, where Boof kept asking Scott, I would rather go with just Scott, not the wolf. He said, I can't go as me. Nobody wants to see me. They want to see the wolf. So it turns out, they get together at the dance. He goes back to Scott, or turns back into his self, I guess. Dances with Boof, and that basically is near the end where the hallway showdown, basically, is what I have written down, with him and the vice principal, and that's where his dad walks in and says, "Don't make me do it again. Leave my son alone."
Yep.
I will do what I did to you 20 years ago, whatever it was.
Make you think about wearing diapers.
Right. So, but another, a cool ending, and I remember this the ending vividly. Right, is he plays the entire, the wolf gets them to the championship game.
Yes.
Basketball, but Scott decides to play the final game as himself.
Yep.
And they end up making a comeback win. It wasn't like they were he shows up late. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
But they were already down by like 20 points, but they make a big comeback win. And it kind of puts a bookend on the movie, because the movie started with Scott doing 2 free throws and he misses them. And it ends with him making 2 to win the game, win the championship. So it was a pretty cool ending.
Yep, great bookend to it.
Overall, what are your thoughts on the movie? Rewatching it today.
I thought it was a fun watch. Not like I don't think it was funny like all the way through, but it was fun reminiscing and watching, and it was funny, and I did laugh a lot in it. It's not one you're gonna laugh from beginning to end, but like it was a fun rewatch. I'd do it again.
I agree. I 100% agree with you. I think I mean you pretty much hit it, man. I was laughing the entire movie last week without a paddle.
Yep.
This week had its funny scenes, but it was a better. I don't know. It had a good storytelling. I mean, I was intrigued the whole time. It had great side stories as well with Boof and Pamela, and then it had Stiles in there, and the coach was funny. The dad. It was an overall great movie. I really enjoyed it. So, and I definitely would rewatch. I can't believe it took me this long to rewatch this, to be honest with you.
Yep, and I have a feeling we'll be saying that about a lot of these movies.
Right?
But
Like, I can't believe it took Nostalgia Mania to rewatch a movie that I should have been watching yearly, right?
yes, sir.
So, all right. So with that being said, we're right around the time to do a retro recast. I need to create a video or a little audio clip that kind of brings us into the retro recast.
I think we'll get there, but yeah.
Well,
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. So we're at the retro recast for those of you still here listening or watching live. So we're going to do this every single week. The graphic says if Teen Wolf was released today, who would you cast in each of these roles? We're going to look at Scott. We're going to look at Boof. And we're going to look at Stilinski. So Michael J. Fox character, Susan Ursity's character, and Jerry Levine's character. Now, before we get into this, I went first last time, and honestly, I think your list is way better than mine. So I'm gonna let you go last this time because you're gonna trump me on mine.
I'm not gonna trump you on yours. Yours is good.
You are. But I am gonna show my sister.
We had similar thoughts.
We did, and we'll get into that. So
never second guess yourself, Josh.
I know. I should have went with my gut.
If we have the same people, then that means they should remake the movie this way.
Yeah. So we'll first go into my sister, Jennifer Elliott. She submitted her retro recast. If you guys want to be included in this, just answer us on social media, on Facebook. I posted it on TikTok, Instagram as well. And we will make a graphic for you, and we'll include it in the retro recast each and every week. So let's take a look at Jennifer's retro recast. So as Scott, she is going to recast as Nick Robinson. She's got Lily Collins playing Boof and Joseph Quinn as Stilinski. Now, she is much like Brody. She's seen the movie, but really has no memory of Boof or Stilinski. She just basically knows Scott from being the main character. So these are hers.
I'm digging her choice for Stiles.
I agree. Yeah, I really like Joseph Quinn. Yep. So, all right, let's.
And who did you pick, Mr. Brody?
Yeah, I don't think Brody's going to do it because he'd never seen the movie.
Yeah.
So I know. So, all right. So let's jump.
When we announce it, that means he needs to get on it and watch the movie.
He does. He needs to watch the movie and then get the retro recast up.
He knows I give him crap, but it's all love.
All right. Here's my retro recast. So as Scott, I've got Finn Wolford, and you guys probably know him from Stranger Things. Kind of a popular younger actor that probably would do well in Scott's character, as the unlikable kind of a nerdy character, and then turns up to be popular as he turns into the wolf. I've got Caitlin Nacon, who plays Boof. I probably know her more in The Walking Dead. She played Enid. And again, kind of the same concept with her. I think she plays the good, I guess, quote, girl next door character, who's always being pushed off to the side throughout the whole movie, but ends up at the end winning over Scott, which we didn't even mention in the ending. They end up getting together and kiss. Yes. So, and then Jack Dylan Grazer plays Stalinsky, and he played Eddie Kasprak in the new version of It. Also played Freddie Freeman in Shazam, but I think he would be a good Stalinsky. Got to get that goof, kind of fast talking, best friend vibe going. So Finn Wolford, Caitlin Nacon, and Jack Dylan Grazer was my pick. So, do you want to preface anything, or let me know when you want me to put yours up on the screen?
I also went for younger actors who are in more recent things, and popular things, but I kind of tried to pick the ones that I thought would be the best for the role. My first thought was for the role of Scott is Tom Holland, just because, I mean, he kind of plays that goof, and I mean, if you've seen any of the MCU, Spider-Man, he's pretty much the same thing as Teen Wolf, you know. I mean, he becomes popular as Spider-Man, and the Wolf was popular. Then for Boof, I picked Jenna Ortega, who I think she's got such a wide range in her roles that she can pull it off. And for Stiles, I picked Jacob Bertrand, Hawk from Cobra Kai, just because I can see him in that role, and he kind of has that energy, you know, that you see that he has in Cobra Kai, and you're like, yeah, he definitely got that kind of, hey, buddy, let's go do this. Hey, buddy, let's go do that. Talking people into stuff, and kind of like the life of the party. So, yeah, that's my recast.
I love it, man. Tom Holland, Jenna Ortega, Jacob Bertrand. Man, this, just so you know, and I've already told you this for everybody watching, we both almost had Tom Holland and Jenna Ortega as the two roles.
Yes.
And I immediately thought Tom Holland, without a doubt. That was the first person I thought of. When I went to the Google machine and looked at the age, I saw he was 29, and I said, he's a little bit older than I want, just because he needs to play a high schooler, which I guess he does in Spider-Man, so he could pull it off.
Right.
So I went ahead and changed it, and I said, you know what, let me try to find a younger actor, and then I went with Finn. And then I had Jenna Ortega also written in as well. And then for whatever reason, I started looking at other actresses, and I said, you know what, Caitlin Nacon would be pretty good. So I switched. It's just funny how both of our minds went to both of those actors.
My wife kind of has to reel me in when I'm mentioning who I want to play what, and she's like, they're probably a little too old for that. And she actually mentioned Tom Holland, and I was like, oh, he'd be perfect. And as soon as she mentioned it, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go with Tom Holland, and kind of went around that same, tried to go around that same age range that looked younger.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love it. There's your retro recast for Teen Wolf. Appreciate everybody for listening in and watching that. If you guys like the retro recast, like I said, follow us on social media. We will post next week's going to be wrestling, so it'll be a little different for next week. But the next movie we do, we'll have a retro recast up and going. We're going to change up a little bit on what we do on the nostalgia rating on this episode. Okay. And we might do it a little bit. We might do it this way going forward, because I think it's instead of just rating it 1 through 5, which we may still do, but we're gonna rate it in different categories, 1 to 10. And okay. I'll kind of keep a score here. Maybe we'll post it on socials and kind of see where we both rated this movie for different categories. So I had the laughs. Where would you rank this as far as comedy or laughs category? 1 to 10. 10 being the funniest thing you've ever watched, and 1 being a drama that has no laughing at all? Where would you rank this movie at?
I'd say it's probably 6 or 7. I'd say 7.
Okay. And I'm probably a little bit lower than that. I'm probably going to go with. I'll probably go. I'm going to put it at a. If I can go half, which it's my own rules. I'm going to go 5.5, 5.5.
Okay.
As far as laughs. All right. So this one says teen movie vibes. So 1 to 10, you thinking this is a teen movie, and then 1 meaning it has nothing to do with teens. It's a not 14. What would you rank this one at?
Yeah, this is up there. This has got to be 8.
8. Yep, I agree. I'm going with 8 as well on the teen one. How about sports movie? Where would you rank this if I said rate this as a sports movie? 10 being absolutely it's a sports movie. 1, it's not a sports movie at all.
I gotta go like 4 or 5 because I'd say 5 because there is sports in it and it's part of it, and it kind of has a big part in it when he, turns into the wolf in the middle of the game and nobody knows it yet. So if that part didn't happen, I would rate it as 4. But since it did happen, I'll say 5.
I like that. I like that. I was gonna rate it down as a 3 or a 4. And I probably will. I'll probably go 4.5. But you're right. If it did not have that ending scene where it, or the beginning and ending, that bookend we talked about, I'm gonna go 4.5 for sports movie. Rewatchability.
7.
I think
it's a solid 7.
Solid 7. Yep, I think I'm going to agree with you. I think it's a pretty good. I had fun watching it. I would do it again tomorrow. I'd watch the same movie again. But it was fun. It was really fun. That's about it as far as rating the movie. We will go ahead and do this because we do it every single week. The nostalgia score for me, and you went first on this on all those other categories. I'll go first here. For me, I'm going to put this at a 2 as a medium nostalgia. I had some memories of it. It wasn't an overwhelming number of times that I watched it as a kid growing up. However, I did remember the scene where he turns into the wolf on the basketball court, like vividly. I could almost picture that as soon as we decided we're going to do this movie. That's the clip I went to get the graphic, and I remember the van surfing. Those are the 2 things that I remembered before even rewatching it. So I'm going to put it as a 2. I think it's a great movie. And what do you think?
I was thinking I'd put it around 3, because I am a little bit older. I do remember watching it. It wasn't one of those that we watched every week, but every once in a while we'd watch it, and it was always kind of fun. And so I do remember a lot of it. Yeah, I'd say I'd have to go with a 3.
All right. There you have it. There you have it. Man, we are through Teen Wolf. We're almost completely through August, which is pretty crazy, given the fact that I feel like we just started August. Like, time is flying.
We did, didn't we?
It seems like it, man. It's August 19th now. We're as of recording this, at least, and we're going. Yeah, we got one more episode. We got WWF SummerSlam 1992 next week, where the British Bulldog and Bret the Hitman Hart main event for the Intercontinental title, which is pretty crazy for I guess back then it wasn't as crazy, but you have a mid-card title main eventing one of the big 4 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So You also had Savage and Warrior for the world title, which happened on that show as well, which I'm excited, man. I haven't gone back and watched an older WWF event in a really long time, like pre-Monday Night Wars. So
yeah,
I'm going to be, I'm going to have some fun, especially the undercard too, like watching all those old wrestlers. We're going to see a lot of gimmicks probably. We're going to see some of those gimmick matches that we like to talk about. We're going to see a couple of those. So
always.
And then we'll start talking about what we're going to do in September. If you guys have any suggestions, if you're listening live or watching live, listening on the podcast platform, give us suggestions on what movies we should do, what wrestling shows we should do, and we'll definitely add those to the bucket list for future episodes. So, Brian J., you got anything you wanted to touch on before we close this out?
I don't think so tonight.
All right. Again, we appreciate Brody for tuning in. I know we had a few viewers. The viewer count was up. If you guys are watching on any platform, I think YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, they all support the comments. Comment, let us know you're here. Appreciate everybody for watching and tuning in and on the podcast. We will be here next week for WWF SummerSlam 1992, which is August 26th, 2025. And with that being said, this is my co-host, Brian J. Bebe. I am the real Josh Elliott. We will see you guys next week. And as always, let's get nostalgic.
Rewind the time, crank up the glow. Back when Blockbuster ruled the show. From slap bracelets to Saturday tunes, cartoons hit different.